Welcome to the Rockstar Mentor podcast, the podcast to inspire you and bring the kickstart you need to crush it in the art industry. So join Sonya each week to bring you the art of marketing your creative service or product. You've got questions, we've got answers. It's Fan Mail Friday, and we are here to answer questions to get your weekend started. Now, your creatively energetic host, Sonya Paz.
You have guessed it. It is another Fan Mail Friday here at Rockstar Mentor. Hey, everybody. Sonya Paz here with another great podcast for Friday. This is our Fan Mail Friday segment of our program. This is the part of the week on Friday where I pick through questions that are submitted by you or friends of yours or people who have not only visited the website, that are part of maybe the mastermind group, or through the Facebook page, which, yes, I am still working on getting some momentum on there. It's been kind of nutty because there's been a lot of movement and shaking going on in the mastermind group, and getting all these episodes and everything sort of lined up and picking the questions for the Fan Mail Friday it's been a lot of fun. There are some questions that are very detailed, and it does take time to sift through those and to address them. So if you have submitted a question, trust me, I would have probably responded by now, but trust me, you are in the queue, and I did not expect this many inquiries. So that is really awesome. So thank you. Big thumbs up. Woo! First of all, I want to give a little acknowledgement that we do have a sponsor. Woo! We have the Brush Guys, located at thebrushguys.com. These are two individuals, Dave and Jeff, who really rock it in the brush industry. If you need brushes for whatever your art medium is, the Brush Guys will truly get you hooked up. They have great customer service, and they are home of the $2 brush. These are amazing brushes. And I have vinopaint.com, that is my other creative business, and I use those for those events, and those brushes stand up to a lot of abuse. So go on to thebrushguys.com, and if you use the promo code ROCKSTAR, then you will get 5% off of your order. There's no minimum. It's 5% off whether you spend $2 or $200. So check them out. They have been gracious to be one of our sponsors here, actually our first sponsor. So check them out. Now, I have printed out an email that I received from Robert, and he lives in Maui. Everyone knows where Maui is. He says, "Hi, Sonya. This is Robert from Maui. I live in an area where art is abundant, and there is a huge market for Hawaiian-themed work. The target market here is tourism. I often get asked, what is my website? Well, I don't have a website," he says. "I don't want to get a website because I'm afraid that my work will be copied or knocked off. There are lots of artists here locally that have websites and that will take orders and ship art from there. I've been told by some other artists that if you have a website, the chances for being ripped off or knocked off are highly likely. What are your thoughts on this?" Well, first of all, thank you, Robert from Maui, for writing in. And I will be the first one to tell you that if you don't have additional branding resources, even a Facebook page or a website to build your brand off of, then you're doing yourself a disservice as far as marketing your art. However, if you want to restrict yourself from expanding your work and getting into as many homes and getting some collectors following you on your website, then you might want to consider this. Now, websites and Facebook pages and all of that are great for expanding your work and sharing with others who want to follow you on what's new, what you're creating, know more about you, your bio, what drives you as an artist. However, if the only reason you're not having a website or a web presence or a Facebook page is because you fear of somebody basically copying your work and trying to steal your ideas, first of all, these are your ideas. Nobody can take those away from you. And they are based on your own personal experience or your own travels, and nobody can take that away. So I just want to shoot that out there first of all. But if you're withholding having any sort of web presence in this day and age, then are you doing a disservice to yourself and your business? I'm going to say yes. And I hate to be the one to say this, but I'm going to say this out loud. And this is what I've told people in my art marketing workshops that, a question's come up. I don't want to get my art out there. I don't want to get a website. I don't want to have business cards because someone's going to steal my work. Hello? People are buying your work and they're hanging it in their house and they are having a piece of you anyway. So I really couldn't understand how that mentality sort of evolved. And I'm just a straight shooter. I'm going to just say that out loud. So people are buying your work. If they want to steal your work, they can buy it and try to rip you off. So don't think of the website being the obstacle that is standing in your way as far as 1, your success, 2, getting it out there, and 3, just feeling good about what you're doing. So here's a little story. I have a dear friend of mine who has an amazing, extensive product line based on her whimsical and playful designs. She transforms these designs into products like clocks and ceramic mugs and salt and pepper shakers and a whole bunch of different types of products. She not only features her designs on her website and on her blog and her online store, she wholesales to specialty boutiques and galleries that carry her designs. She ended up with a customer who went to an overseas sales gift show. I want to say it was in China. And what she did not expect to get was one of her customers and retail partners took a photo of this booth at the show, and it looked like her booth. It had a lot of products that were, I would say, about 85% branded with her look and feel. This was not only one person. This was an entire company who took her product line and basically ripped it off. Now, this is a very isolated incident. This is not something that happens to this volume to smaller independent artists. But they always say imitation is the best form of flattery. Oh, I hate that. I can't stand that. It's not flattery when it's taking your product and stealing from you. And it's not flattering when somebody doesn't have their own imagination and doesn't have their own thoughts and ideas to create their own brand or their own products. So the last I heard, she was filing some sort of a case against these copycats. And I know that there's, U.S. U.S. copyright and trademark infringement policies. And I'm not really sure how that works with overseas stuff. And that's why we're going to bring in some interviews and talk with experts in the legal field in upcoming episodes. But it's always good to research all of your options and, of course, to copyright all of your work. And people will still do some shady stuff anyway. I don't know why. It's crazy. And there is a lot of easy ways to copyright your work and to set up trademarks. And it's so much easier now than when it was back in the 90s when I was doing stuff and you had to actually fill out papers longhand and mail it in and include a self-addressed stamped envelope and a funky postcard. And there was all this crazy stuff back in the day, but it's so much easier now. But in any event, this is truly disheartening to hear. I don't like hearing this happening to anybody. And it's a major punch in the gut. It's unfair. And of course, I've had things happen to me. And of course, it hasn't happened to this large of a scale, but it has happened more than once. And as this used to really bother me a lot, on the same note, it's kept me really on my game and has also kept me being professional and prolific about it. Gosh, how many times has this happened that I end up thinking, well, okay, copy this. You can't take my story. You can't tell everybody why I painted this and what the whole passion was behind it. And there is series that I have done, like the decaf series, when I had to stop drinking coffee years ago. I ended up doing a whole decaf series, and that was my story. My story about how I was not able to drink coffee anymore because it was just tearing up my stomach. But it gave me the fuel to create this series, and I got to tell a whole interesting story behind it. And when someone is stealing that from you or trying to copy something that they don't have the whole concept behind, then it's just a waste. So I just want to throw that out there. Now, For Robert, should you get a website? Yes, I think you should. I believe you would gain a whole lot of momentum in selling your pieces with the leverage of having a website. You want to give your collectors the gift of knowing about you. That's a gift. You're an artist. You need to tell people your story. You're telling the story with your art. You got to at least let people know and have a really great place for them to reference who you are and what you do and why you do it. You want to give your collectors the gift of knowing about you and what drives you as an artist. So your collector may have picked up a print or two from you, or perhaps they've purchased an original piece of artwork and they take this home and they place it in their home and they want to tell others about this new art acquisition that they just got. The first place they're going to point to is your website. They're not going to go and make a copy of the receipt or a copy of the printed bio that you put into the package with the artwork in it. They're going to share your website, and people want to share that. And for me, I've gotten, 60% of the customer base I have is all on recommendations and word of mouth. And you don't need to get anything elaborate. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars for a website. There are so many free resources for this, especially for starters. And if you don't want to do the work, find somebody. There's so many cool websites out there. You can click and drag and import your photos on there. It's very simple. And baby steps is another thing, is just take it one step at a time. Another good thing you can do is maybe you have a collector who likes to do this kind of work and put together a little site for you with just some basic information, because the good thing about a website is you can keep adding to it. You can take things away, you can add to it, but at least get the basics on there, who you are, why you create, what is your bio. If you have an artist statement, put that up there and list some photos and a photo of yourself. Because I'm going to tell you one thing right now, Robert, and everybody else listening. I want to connect. I want to feel that there's a connection there. And if there is a photo, even if it's just something small and modest, get it up there and make it happen, because it's the total package. Without the artwork, there's not you. Without you, there's not the artwork. So it's a total package. I know from personal experience that when I was in the early stages of getting marketing collateral down and production help in the studio, the best people that helped me were friends who collected the work. But most of my staff, when I had the galleries, were individuals that collected the work and wanted to be part of it. And so what I'm telling you is that if you find somebody who loves your work, that wants to dabble in a website for you, trade it up. Instead of paying them in funds, give them artwork. We'll work for art. That's what I always say. Well, Robert, I hope this really helped you out. I want to give you a little bit of homework too. And anybody else out there who is listening who might have the same challenges and encounters as Robert from Maui, if you are on the fence about creating some social media or a website for yourself, web presence is huge. And as an artist, you should embrace it. I don't want to say it bothers me to hear that when artists are afraid to get the website. That should be one of the most thrilling parts of being an artist, is having the opportunity to showcase your work and show others. Hand your business card out and tell people, I'm an artist and here's my website. Have a look at my work. I am so glad that you all have tuned in again for our Fan Mail Friday. And again, I am your host, Sonya Paz. I'm a fine artist and designer out of Northern California. You can read more about me or see what I do at sonyapaz.com. You can also subscribe to this podcast, give us a 5-star review. That helps us kind of get it out there and have other listeners like yourself join us and be part of this cool thing. You can also go online to be part of our newsletter on rockstarmentor.com, so you can be on the front line to receive VIP emails and specials, be privy to some freebie tools and tips and techniques that I've prepared just for you. Tune in also to Fan Mail Fridays, which is every Friday, for burning questions that you might have, that we can read your questions on the air. And I don't know about you, but I like to hear my name on the air when I ask a question. It's kind of a little thrill. So if you are into that and you want to ask a question and have me address it for you on the air, that would be great. So I hope that everybody can walk away from this episode and get your website done. If you will be kind enough to respond and send me a link, I'll follow up with you via email, Robert, or anybody else. Send me a link and show me what you've got going on. Would like to share that. And subscribe to our mastermind page. If you go to rockstarmentor.com, you'll see a section up there for cool freebies and things. You can go to the mastermind and sign up for that, and you will be sent the information on how to do that. Last but not least, have a great rest of the weekend, everyone. I hope that you are keeping cool if you're in a hot area. If you're in any state right now that's dealing with any incredible droughts or flooding or what have you, I hope that you're all staying safe. When indoors, create like crazy. This is a wrap for today. Thank you again. And with that said, I'm out of here. Peace out, everyone.